In this question, the question wants you to draw the y equals to fx curve on a separate diagram. Okay, so please use your ruler and pencil and draw a y-axis as well as x-axis. Okay, so y and x. First thing first, when we do y equals to 1 over fx, I like to always settle the asymptotes first. This x-intercept over here would mean that there is going to be an asymptote at x equals to 0. So I will use red to just make sure you understand that this here will means that there is an asymptote here, as well as another asymptote at a, which is called 2, 0. Okay, now this b over here is a maximum point. When you do 1 over fx, we only change the y value, so this will become 1, half. Okay, and it's going to be a minimum point. As well as the last one, I have to draw a y equals to negative 1/3 for my horizontal asymptote. Okay, if you don't remember, the first video I talked about is if you start above the asymptote, means in your 1 over fx curve, you will start below the asymptote, and in this case, the graph goes up close to 0. For 1 over fx, the graph will goes down and tends towards this red asymptote, x equals to 0. So if you want to be more complete, I write that x equals to 0 is the asymptote as well as x equals to 2. Okay? Next, I look at this part because my y starts from at 0 plus. 0 plus means it will start from positive infinity, and as the original graph goes up, 1 over fx will go down. It will hit the turning point and then subsequently tend back towards the asymptote y equals to 2, making it to be a parabola smiley face. Okay, so the last part is when I look at here, the graph, original graph starts at 0 minus, so the reciprocal of 0 minus is negative infinity. Be careful because this graph cuts y equals to negative 3 asymptote. So your corresponding graph, there are some students that see that because y equals to negative 3 is an asymptote, right? I'm going to go here, okay? And this part is actually wrong, okay? Because your original graph cuts y equals to negative 3 and it goes towards negative infinity. So in your mind, 1 over negative infinity is going to be 0 minus. The graph should not tend towards y equals to negative 1/3. Instead, it will start from negative infinity, cuts the asymptote, and tend towards 0 minus. And this is how you draw the 1 over fx curve for this question. For this question, that there are oblique asymptote and vertical asymptotes over here. So when we draw 1 over fx, I want to tell you this, that oblique asymptote does not affect anything. Okay, because this means that it's going to be positive infinity. And when you do your reciprocal, it means that it's going to go to 0 plus, because 1 over positive infinity is 0 plus. Same thing, this will go to negative infinity. It means that this will go to 0 minus, because 1 over negative infinity is going to be 0 minus. First thing I will always do is to check whether there are any x-intercepts. So in this case, there's no x-intercept, but there is a vertical asymptote at x equals to 1. So which means that in my 1 over fx curve, there will be an x-intercept at x equals to 1. Originally, when I have x-intercept, it will become a vertical asymptote. So you must think that the opposite is true. If there is a vertical asymptote, means in your 1 over fx, there is going to be a intercept. Okay, next I look at this is my maximum point. I think I will shift the point of x equals to 1 further, because my values are all going to be very small. So this is x equals to 1. I'm going to have a turning point at negative 1 comma negative 1 over 4. Then I look at this, I'm going to have a y-intercept at negative 1 over 5. And then I look at this, I'm going to have a maximum point at 3 comma 1 over 4. Okay, and now I can start drawing my graph proper. Okay, I look at this part, negative infinity, when I take reciprocal means I start at 0 minus, so I will go very close to the asymptote here. I know that this is going to be a minimum point, so I come up here and turn. Okay, and as I go down, this part is not so good. Okay, as I go down, I need to go towards y equals to negative 1 over 5, okay? So I will go up here, and there is like a point of inflection over here. So I will continue to go up to the curve, and because I know that there's an x-intercept at 1. Okay, after I pass here, I know that this is a maximum point. So it looks like this, and when it goes down, it will actually go tend back towards the asymptote. Okay, so the graph may look a little bit weird, okay, in this sense, okay, because it's not something that you draw usually, okay. So be careful of the major points when you start plotting. Now you label 0, y, as well as x, okay. Now this part is not so good. It could have been better, because if you look at this, it starts from infinity, okay, and as well as this part, because after I cross the y-intercept, I'm supposed to tend towards, so yeah, this is called tend towards. Then I will cross the axis. I started from positive infinity over here, so this guy is an asymptote to me until I turn up and hit this as a maximum point, and then the graph will continue to go back and tend towards the y equals to 0, because it will go to infinity, means it will go to 0 plus. Okay, and so the important thing is, in your mind, always think, if it's infinity, 1 over infinity, what is it going to be? It's going to be 0 plus. If it's negative infinity, 1 over negative infinity, what is it going to be? It's going to be 0 minus. Okay, if it is 0 plus, if it goes very close to 0, 1 over 0 plus is going to be positive infinity. So the opposite is always true, and make sure you have these things that is in your mind when you draw a 1 over fx curve.